What's going on, guys? Steelers facing Houston Texans in Houston on Christmas Day.
Yeah, man. This was a game that most Steelers fans were hoping that it wasn't really a big worry, but we lost to the Patriots last week, unfortunately. So now this is, I feel like, this is, in my opinion, a very important game.
It really is.
Because
we're going to want to try to get that first round bye.
Right, either first or second seed. But either way, we want that first round bye. We kind of need it as well.
Exactly, especially with the injuries we've been dealing with.
Right.
Brown and Hayden and Chase Year's basically out for the season. So.
Right. But if we want a first round bye, I believe that for us to get a first round bye this week, we need to win, and the Jags need to lose or tie, or we tie and the Jags lose. This is definitely a must-win game. Basically, to get a first-round bye, we got to win out.
Absolutely.
We have to win out. But if we want a first-round bye this week, we got to win, and the Jags have to lose or tie. Thing is, the Jaguars face the Niners. I'm not sure if that's a loss. I don't think so. But hey, crazy shit have happened in this league.
Exactly. So we'll have to see. But before we get into this game, I just want to say something. Last week when the Steelers faced the Patriots, obviously we lost.
Right.
But the Steelers still look very good. The Steelers still look very strong.
They did. And then the thing is, and one thing I want to point out the most is that the Patriots looked beatable.
Yes, they did. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely.
And then one thing I want to point out as well is that it showed we can hang. We can hang with the Patriots.
Absolutely.
So, and trust me, and this will happen in my opinion, when we face them, I'm not joking, when we face them again in the playoffs, which I do think we will, when we face them again in the playoffs, it will be a damn good game.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a damn good anticipated game. So look for that in the playoffs.
Absolutely. But like I was saying, the Steelers look very strong. They still look very good. Like, even in loss, they still look very, very good.
Yeah.
Like, they're still one of the top-tier teams in the NFL.
Of course.
And it just kind of reminded me of the the Rams and the Eagles game back in L.A. 2 weeks ago. Like, obviously the Eagles won that game, but the Rams still look very strong and very good in their home stadium.
Right.
And then the next week in Seattle, they absolutely decimated. They dominated. They destroyed the Seahawks.
Right.
And I'm not saying like the Steelers are like the Rams. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying like this could be kind of like how the Rams were.
Right.
Like the Rams look strong and lost, but they look dominant the next game.
Right. And that very well could happen in this game.
It could, considering it is in Houston.
And the thing is, the Texans are 4-10. I believe they're third in the AFC South. They have lost 4 straight. I think this is Bill O'Brien's first losing season as the Texans head coach. And, I mean, you know, the Texans were looking very good. They were looking very strong, especially their offense. You know, when Deshaun Watson came in, surprised a lot of people. I mean, he surprised me.
He was looking absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Looking to be offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, and the targets that he had, DeAndre Hopkins, who's a fucking monster.
And Will Fuller.
So
Braxton Miller, Bruce Ellington, C.J. Fedorowicz when he was healthy.
Right. So he had some good targets. He looked very good, and that Texans offense looked very dominant.
And they looked like they were going to make the playoffs, at least a wild card team.
Right.
But an unfortunate injury to Deshaun Watson when he tore his ACL. It was a non-contact injury. When he suffered his torn ACL, that basically
very unfortunate injury.
It cost their playoff hopes.
It cost their season.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate. Watson, get healthy soon. I do think you guys will have a much stronger year next year.
Absolutely.
Ever since then, the Texans have looked very. Well, they haven't looked the same. They've looked very weak. Yes,
very weak.
The offense is still putting up decent numbers,
but it's not like Deshaun Watson numbers.
Right. And,
like Tom Savage ain't done anything. I don't even know if he's going to play this game because I think he's still dealing with a concussion injury.
Yeah.
So if he's not playing, T.J. Yates is going to have to step in.
Right.
And last week against the Jaguars, when they got brutally destroyed in Jacksonville, they ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to do anything. I really don't.
Yeah,
not against our defense.
Yeah, because they got to depend on Tom Savage and T.J. Yates, and those are backups at best. Backups.
Yeah, they're not reliable whatsoever.
They're not. So Tom Savage, he's okay, but I wouldn't make him a starter. He is a backup.
Yeah.
But ever since he came in, hasn't really done much.
Right.
And so along with this entire Texans offense, and yes, the Texans still have playmakers like Lamar Miller and DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller. But Will Fuller hasn't really done anything since
Deshaun Watson's been out, and he's been dealing with an injury.
And DeAndre Hopkins, man, he's an all-out freak. He's an all-out monster. He is a. I don't know what to describe him.
When it comes to best or one of the best receivers in the league, he's hardly ever in that discussion.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
He's very underrated.
Seriously, honestly, I put him in my top 5. I put him in top 3. Honestly,
I mean, with non-consistent quarterbacks, like he just somehow is able to get, if not even 1,000 yards, near 1,000 yards.
Right, and he has over 1,000. He's second in the league in yardage, of course, behind Antonio Brown. I believe he has 92 receptions for 1,313 yards and 12 touchdowns. Even without a good, consistent, reliable quarterback, he is still putting up crazy fucking Pro Bowl numbers.
Absolutely, like he's an all-out monster.
Yeah, dude, he is literally the only guy I'm worried about in this game. And I don't know who's covering him, whether it be Burns or Sutton.
Now, I don't know if Joe Hayden's going to be playing. I mean, he seems to be fine, but I don't think they're going to want to risk any further injury toward him.
Who knows? Maybe we bring Hayden back for just this game. I doubt that. I really do. Honestly, I put Burns on him. I don't know. It's. I mean, Hopkins. I mean, Jalen Ramsey really struggled against Hopkins last week, and Jalen Ramsey's one of the best young cornerbacks in the league today. So
absolutely.
So he really
whoever's going to cover DeAndre Hopkins is definitely going to be a challenge.
Right. He's the only guy that worries me. Their offense, on the other hand, really isn't much.
I mean, Lamar Miller really ain't that bad, but he's not really too consistent.
Right.
He really ain't. I still think he's a very good running back.
He's a good double threat as well.
Right.
But the Steelers' defense, they've looked very strong the past few weeks.
They have been.
Especially since since Cameron Sutton came in, the defense has looked, not like it has when Joe Hayden was in, but it has looked better than sensible. I mean, yeah, Sutton allowed a touchdown to, I believe it was Brandon Cooks last week.
But overall, he did fantastic.
Yeah, he looked
in that game.
He looked very good. So I don't see Hayden coming in for this game. Honestly, I'd sit him out until the playoffs, so he's fully healthy, fully ready to go.
Absolutely.
So we have a full healthy defense.
Absolutely.
But I would start Sutton here, but it'll be interesting to see what this defense does.
But this defense is going to have to, be able to get to the quarterback. Because
right.
The big key factor in this game is probably the pass rush.
And that's one thing I think will come into a factor is our
because
pass rush.
The Texans' offensive line is very weak. I can't even name a very good one because they got rid of Dwayne Brown. They traded him away to the Seahawks.
Right.
So the new left tackle really isn't doing that great.
Right.
As Dwayne Brown was.
So in the way our pass rush is, I think you guys know.
So on that side, Stephon Tuitt and T.J. Watt are going to have to try. You're going to want to bet they're going to want to try to get to whoever the quarterback is.
Yeah, plus Dupree and Hayward and Hargrave. So I think you guys know who has the advantage on that challenge.
Right.
So I'm very confident in this defense. Defense has looked very strong. And one thing I think defense has to do is force a lot of turnovers because the Texans have the Texans turnover ratio is, I believe, -9.
Yeah, since Deshaun Watson's been injured.
So that's not very good at all.
So this defense has to get turnovers, and the offense has to take advantage of that.
Yeah. So
speaking of the offense, Antonio Brown will not be playing in this game because he suffered a left calf injury, and he is out for the rest of the regular season. But the postseason is very, very possible, very high,
very likely. So Martavis Bryant and Juju and Rodgers and Darius Heyward-Bey and Justin Hunter, they're all going to have to step up. But mainly Martavis Bryant and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Absolutely. Especially since the Texans' defensive backs aren't that bad, but
not.
But they don't have an A.J. Boye like they did last year.
After they got rid of A.J. Boye,
their
secondary hasn't performed the same. I mean, yeah, they still have Jonathan Joseph. They still have Kevin Johnson. Is he injured?
I'm not sure.
I really can't remember. I heard he was injured. He might be playing.
They got Andre Hall, who's not that bad.
They have what's his name, Kareem Jackson. So
I mean, they got some nice defensive backs.
Yeah, they have some nice defensive backs, but ever since they lost A.J. Boye, their secondary
it's been very vulnerable.
Yeah, and their defense has looked not the same.
And their pass rush hasn't been the same either since J.J. Watt suffered a season-ending injury.
Right, and that's one thing that kind of bums me out about this game because we were all expecting and we were all anticipating Watt versus Watt.
Yeah, because ever since T.J. Watt got drafted to the Steelers, we were all hoping, for a Watt versus Watt, brother versus brother matchup.
Right.
Because obviously T.J. Watt is the brother of J.J. Watt, perhaps the best defensive player in the league. I don't care what anybody says. He's perhaps the best defensive player in the league right now.
Perhaps, yeah.
But J.J. Watt, I respect the hell out of him. He is an all-out monster.
Yeah, there's no way you can't respect this guy. There's no way you can't be a fan of this guy. Even if you're not a Texans fan, there's no way you can't at least respect this guy. He is one of the most lovable, one of the greatest, most dominant players in the league. So,
Absolutely.
So JJ, get well soon. Come back stronger next year.
Yep.
But the Texans defense, I believe they're 25th in the league. Passing defense isn't really strong, but their run game and their pass rush is really the positives of that defense.
Really, but going up against Le'Veon Bell, they may have some trouble.
Right, and one thing about Le'Veon Bell is I think because AB is out, I think that we're going to be using Le'Veon Bell in the receiving game a lot more. Because we've used him in the receiving game a lot the past few weeks. But I think he's going to get a lot of the load in this game, rushing and receiving.
Right.
Because with AB out, with our biggest playmaker out, it's offense really ain't going to be the same. So we're gonna give the rock to Bell a lot more.
But even when AB was injured in the Patriots game, we still looked very good.
Yeah, we did. That's very surprising.
And going against this Texans defense, I think realistically, I think we're going to be all right.
Yeah, so do I. And I think Martavis Bryant could have a big game here because he's really going to be dependable, along with Juju.
Right.
So I'm very confident in this offense. Let's just this is a very important game. So
especially considering how the way the Steelers lost against the Patriots, you got to bet they're still angry, they're still frustrated.
Exactly.
They're going to take their frustration off somebody, and that could be the Texans.
Exactly. So let's just let's get ready for this game. Keys to win this game for the defense: pass rush, get to Savage or Yates, whoever's starting. Force some turnovers and do your best to cover DeAndre Hopkins.
Just somehow do it.
I mean, then again, they still have Will Fuller on the other side who could be a sleeper in this game.
They ain't really done too much since Savage been
right,
out.
and they've really depended on Hopkins a lot more. So
exactly.
For the offense, just give the ball. Receivers step up, get in the end zone. Limit the mistakes. Overall, this entire team limit the mistakes.
Absolutely.
And just give the rock to Bell a lot.
Yep.
So should be a interesting game. Christmas Day, man. Should be a very fun game to watch. The Steelers team. Hopefully they look dominant because they need it. We need this win. We need to win out for the first round bye. So let's and like you said against the Patriots, the loss against the Patriots, Steelers are going to come in fuming and fierce and firing,
Exactly.
Especially at an away game, so.
Exactly.
So it should be a very interesting game, very fun game.
On Christmas Day, and we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays if you're celebrating, and just safe travels. Be safe. Cherish the time with your families.
Have a great time with your families. Getting gifts. Enjoying a wonderful feast.
Yeah, just have a wonderful holiday, man. So just Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all you guys, and let's just get this dub. Let's get this hopefully a dominant win, but let's get this dub. Let's just get this dub.
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Peace.